This is my Veteran Sherman-S, and today I will do a 300 kilometers review and tell you why I like it so much and what can be improved as well. So first, my favorite. Let's talk about the range. And the range, in my experience, has been very good. A day I did the 80-kilometer trip at between 25 and 50 kilometers per hour and still had more than 60% battery left. It was at 91 volts. So for the battery, it has been very good. I have nothing to say about this. Very good. And now for the suspension. It's also, I find it very good. I did not have a lot of EUCs. I've rode some Veteran Shermans without suspension, and I don't think I will ride without it now. I have the 58-pound suspension, but if I had to choose again, I'd probably take the 62 option because sometimes I think this could be a little stiffer for my taste. As for the tire, as you can see, I have the Michelin street tire and it's very good. It's converted to tubeless. There will be a link in the description to this video. And yes, tubeless is working fine. I had to put slime in the tire because it was like losing 1 psi per day. Not a big deal, but just a minor annoyance. So far, the Michelin has been very good. I'm very happy. It's silent, a lot more nimble than stock, and with the tubeless conversion, it's overall lighter, so less rotational mass, more nimble. For the pressure, I tend to keep the tire about at 25 psi. I think that's the sweet spot because at 30 it's more nimble, but it will be too much sensible to the rider input. And 20 psi, it may be easier to control at slow speeds, but you may risk to damage your rim. So very happy. If I had to do it again, I'd do it again for the street tire installation. So as for the seat, I had the surround seat installed and it was very comfortable, no problem with the comfort, but I did not find practical, mainly because that's another piece that you have to lift in order to lift your handle. So you cannot just lift the handle quickly, you have to lift the seat first, then lift the handles. So that was a little annoyance, but I've got tired of this. And also it was hiding my screen. So I did not like that it was hiding the speed and information. So my solution was to install a motorcycle passenger seat. I have a Honda Rebel 250 passenger seat. This is from the years 2000. You can find cheap seats on eBay, maybe even AliExpress or Amazon. There will be links in the description. But so far the seat has been very comfortable. It's not hiding the screen anymore. It's very plush and very enjoyable to ride while sitting. As for the power pad, the stock power pads, I don't like them so much because they limit the amount of movement you can do with your legs, and I find that it will limit your acceleration and braking as well. compared to the customs power pads like the ones I have. I have the 3D printed pads that you can customize and move it as you wish. Very good for these pads. I'm still experimenting after 300 kilometers of what is the best positioning, but it allows me also to make small jumps, sometimes to over obstacles or potholes, so very practical. I paid about 150 Canadian dollars for this. One other thing here, I was mostly riding with my motorcycle boots, and it was working well enough. But one day I chose to try my cycling shoes. So they are high-vis yellow shoes and very light. I instantly felt like the wheel was a lot more nimble, and I had a lot more confidence as well. The stock foot pedals were not very good. They are adjustable in length. Did adjust them to the longer length possible. For the size, it is good for my feet and large enough. But for the spikes, I did not have confidence for the grip. They were not very grippy spikes and easy to slip, not very good. I did mod my stock pedals and now they are very good. I did drill multiple holes at strategic places and I use one quarter screws that I grind to triangle spikes form. There are 20 of them on each pedals. So now I think this is about as good as most popular pedal brands and a lot of grips and confidence, no problem at all. It hasn't happened to me that my foot has slipped. Another mod that I made on the stock pedals is with the rods that extend. What I did is grind a slot for the Phillips screws to go in so that the pedal will stop shortening while riding. That was very annoying and there was always shortening on the front of the pedal. So that solved the problem since. One other mod that I did is I disconnected the beeper when I go to the restaurant or other places. Uh, that was a little annoying to get attention each time I turn on or off the wheel. So it does a loud beep and gets everyone's attention. So for now I disconnected. I don't use the wheel at high speeds anyway, so I don't think I will get a speed cutout. And now I can turn on or off the wheel in absolute silence when I go to places. For the speed and stability. So at first I was running the tire at about 30-32 psi and the ride was very twitchy. So it was a lot too sensible to the rider input and felt unstable. Then I tried running the tire at 25 psi. As for reference, I weighed about 140 pounds without my gear, maybe 150 all geared up, about 64 kilos. So now at 25 psi, I did go up to about 60 kilometers per hour and it was still very stable. I was still confident at that speed if the pavement is equal. I did try off-road one time. It has a lot of train tracking when the surface is uneven, so that is one thing to consider. As for the braking, with the Michelin tire, I found it very stable and bring confidence when braking. So I have no problem to brake if an emergency were to come at me. And as for the electric unicycles in general, they get a lot of attention, but mostly positive attention. Not one time it happened to someone to look at me in a negative way. Of course, I ride cautiously when there are people on the cycle path. I will slow down when I pass them. I will not pass them like a crazy man at 50 kilometers per hour, of course. And I always gear in high-vis so people can see me from far away. I also add high-vis stickers on the rear of the wheel for the car drivers to see me. I get stopped all the time when I ride, and people are very curious about electric unicycles, and I hope more and more people will ride them and that they will be properly legalized in the Canada and everywhere. So thank you for watching and send me your comments and ideas in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe!